Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to our next episode in our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. In the previous episode, we saw how Hanuman and all the Vanaras came out of the Swayamprabha Bila, and then some Vanaras like Tara or Taru, when they say that we have to go back to Swayamprabha Bila because the time that Sugriva gave to search Sitamaa is over, we are not able to find her, and if we go back, King Sugriva is going to kill us. Hence, it makes sense that we actually go back to Swayamprabha Vila and live there. Angada also accepts it. Then Hanuman uses the Bhedopaya. He breaks Vanaras into two groups and then goes to Angada and drills some sense into him. And he says, we'll go back to Sugriva. We will tell him that we are unsuccessful and we can still win over him. Now, after listening to that, that's where this episode is starting for us. Angada, he would say, no. He starts abusing Sugriva. He says Sugriva actually married his own brother's wife even when he was alive. He is referring to the story of Mayavi and the Bila. That the story keeps coming again and again. Now Angada is saying he married Tara that way. Where does he have ethics? Now he made me the crown prince just because Sri Ramachandra told him to make me the crown prince. He will always try to ensure that I am not a obstacle in his path. I can't trust him now. If I go back, he's not going to spare me. So Griva is not a person like this, but this is what Angada is thinking. And he's saying, you go and you tell my mom Tara that Angada really tried hard to find Sitama, but he was unsuccessful. I'm going to die here. I'll do a Praayopavesa and I'll leave my body here because if I go back, Sugriva is going to kill me and I really don't want that sort of death. And saying this, he keeps abusing Sugriva for some more time. All this is because of his helplessness. He was the leader of the most important contingent, and they really don't even have an idea as to where Sitama is now. They are totally lost. Hence, Angada has become so woebegone that he is now abusing everyone and anyone around him. Now, and saying all this, he suddenly takes out the darbhas, he puts them, and on that he sleeps on the seashore and says, I am going to leave my body here. So some other Vanaras who are very loyal to Angada, they also decide to die and they also lay down their Darbhasanas. They also start for Praayopavesa. While all this is happening, some of the Vanaras like Hanuman and others, and even some of the Bhallukas like Jambavanta and all, they were watching the proceedings and trying to figure out as to what needs to be done next. In the meantime, a huge eagle, it appeared on the mountain top. So there is a mountain on the edge of the ocean. That's where these guys are trying to do the Praayopavesa. And at that particular point of time, on the mountain edge, a bird appears. A huge eagle, an eagle of gigantic proportions appears, and it sees down. Now Angada looks at the eagle and he says, see, looks like the Yamadharmaraja has taken the form of this eagle to come and eat us. Look at the size of that eagle. Looks like all the pranis in the world are trying to help Sri Ramachandra. Lucky was Jataayu, who was also an eagle. He actually fought for Sri Ramachandra and he died. His life worked well for him, but I am not that lucky. Though I too got to do Sri Ramachandra's work, I am not able to complete Sri Ramachandra's work and I am dying. Look at this eagle. This eagle is going to come and eat us. This way, Angada talks about Jataayu and he actually educates all the people around him on the greatness of Jataayu also at that particular point of time. Now the eagle that has appeared on the mountain, it hears the word Jataayu, and from there the eagle starts speaking to these Vanaras. These Vanaras then realize that eagle does not have wings. Now that eagle starts speaking to these Vanaras and it says, who is the person who has taken my brother's name? Who is the person who has spoken about my beloved brother's death? Who is the person who is giving me this amount of sorrow today? And the eagle starts crying and it tells these Vanaras, please bring me down so that I can come closer to you and I can talk to you and I can get to know more about my brother. Now the Vanaras were really afraid to bring that huge bird down from that mountain. If it has to come normally, it has to walk down the entire mountain, and that's very, very tricky. It might fall down. But if they go and bring it, if they go near that bird, the bird might just as well eat them off. So they were really afraid of it and they really did not know what to do with it. But then Angada himself, he gathers the courage, he goes and he brings down that huge bird. And then he says there is this great Vanara called Ruksharajas. From Ruksharajas, he had two children. One is Vali, the other is Sugriva, and they both ruled the Vanara kingdom. And while they were ruling the Vanara kingdom, they had an issue, and Sugriva was sent out of the kingdom by Vali. While all this was happening, on the other front, there was a great king called Dasharatha. He had three wives. From his first wife, he had a son called Sri Rama. Dasharatha wanted to make Sri Ramachandra the king. Then the wife whom he loved the most, Kaikeyi, she stopped him. Dasharatha granted her boons in the past. She invoked those boons and now asked Dasharatha to make Bharata the king and send Sri Ramachandra to forest. When Sri Ramachandra came to forests, his wife Sitamaa was abducted by Ravana. That was seen by Jataayu, and that Jataayu fought very bravely with that Rakshasa called Ravana. And in that fight, Jatayu broke Ravana's chariot. He killed Ravana's charioteer. But then Ravana, being Ravana, he summoned a huge sword with which he cut off Jatayu's wings. That's when Jatayu died. And while dying, he told Sri Ramachandra that Ravana abducted Sitamaa. And Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana, they both kept walking. They came to the place where Sugriva is. And with Sugriva's help, they came to Kishkinda. In Kishkinda, Sri Ramachandra killed Vali and gave the kingdom to Sugriva. I am the son of Vali, and this is our story. And after Sugriva was made the king, after the rainy season was over, Sugriva sent out all of us to search for Sitamaa. And we are the Vanaras who came in the direction of the south, and we have crossed the 1 month due date that was given to us by Sugriva. And if we go now, Sugriva is going to kill us. Since Sugriva is going to kill us either ways, we are doing a Praayopavesa so that we die by ourselves. Now Sampati heard all this and he started. There were tears in the eyes of Sampati because Sampati was the elder brother of Jatayu. Now listening to his own brother's death, Sampati was really sad. And he started speaking to Vanaras like this: "Oh Vanaras, the bird that got killed in that fight with Ravana is my brother Jatayu. And now I don't have my wings. I am quite old. Hence, I cannot go and take revenge on Ravana for killing my own brother Jatayu. Pura vrutravadhe vrutte nachaham najayeshinau adityamupayatau svo Jwalantam Rasmimalinam. During Vrutrasura Vradha in those days, I and Jatayu, we both had a competition between us, and we ran and we flew towards the Surya Mandala. And when we were flying higher and higher and higher, as it was becoming noon or sun was exactly reaching the center, we were indeed flying high, and Jatayu's energy was coming down. I saw that, and then I went and I covered his wings with that of mine. Hence, my wings got burnt, and I fell down on this Vindhya Parvata. And from then, I did not know about my brother Jatayu. My name is Sampati. So, from there, I am here. This is my story." Listening to this, Angada says, "Oh Sampati, if you are also like Jatayu, if you know, if you have flown so higher and if you are there for so much time, please let me know where this Ravana is." And then Sampati spoke the following words, which gave lot of happiness to all these Vanaras. Sampati said, "Nirdagda paksho gudroham gatavirya plavangamaha vangmantrenapi ramasya karishye sahyamuttamam." I will definitely help all of you and I will do my part in this Ramakarya, is what Sampati says. "Janami varunan lokan vishno sraivikramaanapi devasura vimardhamsya hyambruttasya vimandanam." So I can go to the Varuna Lokas. I have seen the Trivikrama Avatara. I know about Samudra Manthana. So that from that time I am here. Ramasya idam karyam kartavyam prathamam maya jarayacha hrutam tejaha pranasya sidhilamama. The shloka, when it gets translated, means I have to do Ramakarya quickly because the old age is taking away my tejas and my pranas are also becoming weak. So this indirectly applies to all of us also. We have to do Ramakarya while we still have strength before the old age takes over and before our pranas or our lives come into risk. Taruni Rupa Sampanna Sarvabharana Pushta Hirimana Maya Drishta Ravanena Duratmana Kroshanti Rama Rameti Lakshmaneti Bhamani Bhushanam Yapya Vidhanti Gatranicha Vidhunvati. I have seen a lady being abducted by Ravana. She was throwing away her ornaments and she was shouting Rama Rama Lakshmana Lakshmana Surya Prabhena Sailagare Tasya Kausayamutvam Haste Rakshase Bhati Yatha Vidyut Divambare. She was shining like a lightning, and the Rakshasa was looking like a cloud. He was so black and she was like a lightning. I think she is Sita, and I'm going to tell you about the place where that Rakshasa is living. Putro Visravasa Sakshat Bhrata Vaisravanasya Adhyaste Nagarim Lankam Ravano Nama Rakshasa. I saw that Ravana, he is living in Lanka. He is the brother of Kubera. From here, Ito Dvipa Samudrasya Sampurthe Satyojane Tasmin Lankapuri Ramya Nirmido Viswakarmana. From here, if you can go for 100 yojanas, you would see a island, and that island is Lankapattana. And then he describes the entire Lankapattana, and he says, I am able to see that Lankapattana from here, and you can go and you can see Ravana there. That's what he says, and he says, I am looking with my Divya Drishti. You can see Sita, and you will come back. So that's something that I am. And there are 4 different margas through which you can go. The first marga is the place where the Kulinga Pakshis, the Kulinga birds, they fly. The second marga is the place where birds like crows fly. In the third level, the Krauncha Pakshis fly. The fourth level, you see that kites, a form of eagles, fly, and the purest to the best of the eagles, they fly in the 5th part. So now, O Vanaras, 6th part, there is a 6th level, and that is the place where the swans fly, and even Garutmanta also flies. So we can also fly at that level. O Vanaras, this Ravana has not just harmed you, he has harmed me also. So you should go and get hold of Ravana. That's what he says. And he says, you go here, go see Sitamaa and come back. But please take me till this ocean so that I can give Jalatarpana to my brother. Then those Vanaras, they take Sampati near the sea so that Sampati can give Jalatarpana. So after giving Jalatarpana, what does Sampati do? How do these Vanaras react? How do they go to Lankapuri, or how do they start thinking as to how to go to Lankapuri? All that we'll be seeing in our next episode. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaah, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. सर्वं स्तुति साई महाराज स्वामी चरणारविन्दार्पणमस्तु. स्वस्ति. जय श्री राम.